What is up, YouTube and all my fish keeping friends? How y'all doing out there in fish tank land? This, of course, is Joseph Hart from JH Aquatics, and I'm here to share with you all my fish keeping adventures, knowledge, and more. Of course, this is my Sunday live stream. I've just been doing a lot of filming today, trying to batch film a little bit, trying to get some content created for my channel. Let me see if everything is working right here. Let's see. Can you hear me well? I have 2 people watching so far. 2 people watching, it looks like. Anyways, I've just been chilling out, enjoying my weekend, trying to overcome, and heal from the cold. I got a little bit of a flu, a little bit of a cold when I was at the Aquatic Experience. I think a lot of the content creators, a lot of the YouTubers got a bit of a cold. I mean, this cat is making me crazy already. He can't help himself, can he? He's got to be in the video. He's got to be in the stream. He's got to be in the camera. Oh, here comes Jasper. Anyways, yeah, there was a lot of people, like thousands and thousands of people at the Aquatic Experience. Everybody wanted to shake your hand, get a picture with you. Everybody's breathing in your face. It was kind of like a perfect place to get sick, that's for sure. So, yeah, AE-itis. Exactly. Select pets. Let me check out the stream really quick, or check out the chat. Pro Tim Aquatics first into the chat. We also have Racing's Natural Aquarium. I got to meet him and his wife at the Aquatic Experience. Really nice to hang out with them. Good people. Select Pets in the stream. How are you? Let's see. Curtis, flight attendant. We all know who that is. Let's see. Goblin Slayer. Welcome to the stream. Matthew Moore Cichlids, how are you? Good to see you. Haven't seen you in a while. Haven't seen you in any of the Big Easy streams, but then again, I haven't been in his stream. Been kind of away and busy. Big City Betas in the house. How are you? Good to see you in the chat. Let's see. Hypnotic Aquariums, Mary Foreman, and Sky High Aquariums. I like Sky High Aquariums. So you're in here. Were you on 2 different devices at the same time, flight attendant? All right. Well, it's good to see you all here. I gotta fix my light already. I'm just gonna fix my light. The cat can't help herself. Oh, animals. I like my animals in glass boxes. Sorry, no offense to anybody else that's a cat or a dog lover out there, but I like fish tanks for a reason. Let's see. I've been losing my voice, or I've had like a really dry voice today. I've been trying to film. I filmed like 3 pieces today, and I just kept I just keep having this dryness in my throat. I'm trying to drink a lot of water. That's pretty much what is left from the cold that I had. I made this huge pot of chicken soup, and that really helped. Put a little cayenne pepper in there to make you sweat it out a little bit. Carbon Really, how are you? Welcome to the stream. Daniel Gillen, how are you? Good to see you here. So yeah, the Aquatic Experience was awesome. Obviously, this year there were a lot more YouTubers than there were last year. I don't know, we had like 12 YouTubers last year. This year there was 33, 34 were confirmed to be there and on the t-shirt. But in the end, there were actually like 40 or 50 YouTubers, because really there was a lot of saltwater YouTubers that were there, and there were a lot of YouTubers that were not planned to be there. New York Gold showed up, a few others that showed up. King and Queen Cichlids, they showed up. There was a lot of other content creators and people from the community that were there that were not like listed to be there. Daryl Dimmer, I shared a room with Daryl Dimmer. I don't know where he's at, why he's not in my stream today. I know he'll show up eventually. But he was there, and he's not really a content creator, but he is a very influential part of the community, as most of you might know. Mike from Mass Aquariums, you've got a year to give me stuff. You've got a year to harass me about not interviewing you. I was a zombie. By the time I saw you on Sunday, I Greg Jones was my last interview, and when that interview comes out, you will see the look in my eyes. I was beat. I was rolling on fumes. I think a lot of us were. Even Rob from Flip Aquatics. I looked at his eyes and I was like, man, you could just see right through him. He was gone. He was just trying to sell his shrimp and get it done. It was last year didn't seem to be that exhausting. This year was truly kind of exhausting. I'm not complaining. I had a great time, and that's why it was exhausting. There were so many people to hang out with and talk to, so many YouTubers to just gab with and geek out about fish keeping and YouTubing and all that good stuff. I lost my voice. Like every day I was just at the end and just trying to drink water to keep my vocal cords dry, because I'm definitely living here in the Caribbean. I was not used to how dry the air was. That's for sure. Science Gal Aquatics, how are you? Good to see you here in the stream. Let's see. Yeah, it's good to see everybody here. Lots of good people. Yeah, Mike from Mass Aquariums. He is one of the co-founders of the My Aquarium Box, as most of you might know. And I did not get his interview last year. And all year long, he reminded me of it. And then this year comes around, and I promised an interview. I was all about it. He was on my list, and I still did not get an interview with Mike from Mass Aquarium. So he has permission to give me crap about that for the rest of the year. So maybe we can do another little collaboration live stream. We'll see how that goes. What's up, Swisky? Jimmy of the Aquarium Co-op, the Swisky Visions in the house. Good to see you, buddy. Thank you for your help with my camera on the first day. Thankfully, I'm really happy that you took a look at it on the first day, because, well, yeah. And that's one thing, like, if there was one thing that I regret about the aquatic experience, and that was not taking Jimmy up on borrowing his macro lens and having him come along with me to go shoot some macro shots of fish, because I know it would have been a learning experience. I'm pretty sure he could have taught me some things with the camera, and all the things that I regret, that I could regret about that weekend. That's really it. Not getting Mike from Mass Aquarium's interview, and not spending a good half an hour or so with Jimmy in his awesome lenses that he offered up to me. Just so distracted by everything. There's so many people. There's so much to do. I did get a lot of really awesome interviews. I'd have to say that I did not get the photography that I was looking for, and I didn't get all the like B-roll of like the aquatic experience kind of thing. So I will create a video on that, but I just felt like I was so distracted by the community, which is really the reason why I was there. Greg Jones, it's good to see you here in the chat. I really appreciate you popping in. But yeah, I wish I would have got more photography. I would have played with the camera a little bit more. Wish I would have hung out with Jimmy for a little bit, as he offered, and I really beat myself up about that one, because I'm sure we'll have a chance to hang out in the future. I'd love to go hiking, do a little camping trip with Jimmy. I love his cinematic outdoor content. That is just it's awesome stuff. I really do enjoy it. Yeah, I know there's always a next time. There's always a next time. So I'm rolling with two computers here. I'm trying to go all the way, play around with a little bit of lighting in the background, have a little fun with this, make it look good. Got my camera off autofocus, focusing in on my face. We're good. I'm streaming on one camera. I'm doing everything else on another camera. I'm sorry, not camera, another computer. So my streaming computer is just streaming, not touching anything on it, not even touching the mouse. And I got everything else going on the other computer. Totally separate internet connections as well. So putting a lot into this. I'm trying to, it's fun for me. Most of you might not know, like, I grew up working with in theater. When I was in high school, I was the lighting techie guy. I built stages, I built sets, and I also did all the lighting design. I work with DMX programmable lighting. Um, Programmable lighting was always a fun thing for me, and I did some sound work as well. So like, I've always played around with a little bit of video here and there, editing with little cheap, little free internet, film editing softwares and stuff. And this is kind of for me, besides just sharing or enjoying my hobby, fish keeping. This is my opportunity to kind of take the little bits that I know from all the different little subjects and pull them all together and use the little bit of skills and knowledge that I have of these different things, combine them, and have fun. To me, it's all art and fun. Besides that, it's the community and it's about the fish. I really love this community. I'd have to say, I don't know where I would be in my hobby if I didn't have this community that I have with you guys on YouTube, because it was hard to leave after this last weekend in New Jersey, seeing how as I really do not have, I don't have any fish clubs here. I have one really horrible wannabe called fish store. It's not. It's a veterinarian office, which is even makes it even more sad. But they've got like 8 tanks. They bring them in from Seagrass Farms, and they pour them right into the water, right into the tank with the bag water and everything, and they just watch them die. And I can't even go in there. I don't support them. I've got a lot of rescues in my fish room still from when I was going in there. But if I go in there, it just hurts me and it makes me mad, and I have a hard time keeping my mouth shut, so I just don't even walk in there. So my point is I have no fish club, I have no fish store, I have no community here locally. The only bit of community I have is a pet store on the big island of St. Thomas. This gentleman over there, he owns a pet store called VIP Pets, and he is an awesome guy. He takes very good care of his aquariums, and but he still has limited space. I'm trying to sell him some of my shrimp, and he can't even take those. So, going off on a tangent, but my point is that you guys are my community. You guys are my fish club, and everybody that I got to hang out with at the Aquatic Experience. You guys are my fish community, and I'm not just trying to say that. It is a fact. The support I get from you guys, the knowledge that we share with each other, goes very far with me. It's really important for me to have you guys. This stream, is important to me. This Sunday live stream. At this point, I put a lot of money into my channel just to have the equipment so that I can have a good time. And it, if I'm playing with garbage and everything's slow, it's not fun. Like, I was having some very stressful live streams, and I literally am paying $100 a month. I'm donating $100 a month to a local nonprofit ISP, which is giving me 25 megabytes upload on one internet service. And it's just for this one day. Like, I don't need 25 megabytes upload for anything else besides uploading my videos, which I could do on 6, 7, 8 megabytes upload. I have this 25 megabyte upload ISP for this one live stream that I do for 1 hour on Sunday, because I want it to be good. I want y'all to be able to enjoy it. I want to enjoy myself and have fun with it. When I look at what I'm streaming out there with 0 frames dropped at 7,000 KB a second, I'm happy. It puts a smile on my face. I know you guys are checking out something good, and that you're not listening to some choppy stuff. Really makes me happy. Let's see. Yes, I'm sorry. I'm not looking at the chat, or wasn't looking at the chat. I appreciate Swisky for putting a question mark at the end, because I'll kind of scan through here, and yes, I need to start a pet store, but there's not a very large population of people here. It's about 4,500 people on my island. Pet food doesn't pay the bills. Anybody that's in the industry knows that, like, fish food and dog and cat food is not going to pay the bills, and it's really hard to overhead for doing business in the first place is tough. And here in the Virgin Islands, the overhead to be in business, the cost of operations here is insane. I mean, just my apartment to live here, have a fish room, and do these live streams and do this, I pay $400 a month for my electric bill. $400 a month I paid for my electric bill this month. it's a little outrageous. Rachel O'Leary in the chat, the one and only Rachel O'Leary, for really hanging out in my chat. It's good to see you, Rachel. I did get and to answer your question, Jimmy, I did get an interview with Rachel. I was very happy about it. I really enjoyed it, and I know I talked her ear off. I'm a good talker. After that live stream, after that interview, I just couldn't help myself. I kept chatting with her because, and she did turn me on to the idea of getting killifish, because I'm in a rare situation living on the Virgin Islands here. I can't really have a lot of big tanks. I've got two 55s up here, and a 29 bow face. Most of my aquariums are 20 gallons because it's reasonable. I have a lot of 10 gallons and 20 gallons. And she recommended to me killifish. I know that their lifespan isn't very long, but I try not to get too attached to them. But I would really like to do that. I think that's some great advice. So I look forward in the future to playing around with some killifish. They are beautiful. Some of those different variants of killifish are really, really beautiful fish. I did figure out what was up with my I have the heterotrophic bacteria bloom. You can see the cloudy tank right there. That's my yellow King Kong Caridina shrimp tank. Rachel, thank you for the $20 super chat. I really do appreciate that. And Potato, thank you for that $5 super chat. It means a lot to me. I really do appreciate that. This community, I can keep going. I can keep going about the community, but it really is, we're a little bit of a family. That's how I look at it. And like I said before, I don't have anybody else to go to. I'm on an island by myself doing this on my own. I have nobody even give my fish away to. So honestly, if any of you guys are interested in yellow King Kong Caridina, there we go. I'm backwards. Caridina shrimp. I have those. I have blue bolts for sale, and I'm gonna have to just send them in the mail. It's the only way I'm gonna be able to get rid of them. I'm not gonna cull them and flush them down the toilet. I'm losing track because of the super chats. Mass Aquariums, Mike from Mass, thank you so much for that $9.99 super chat. I appreciate it. But yeah, killifish, that's awesome. I really look forward to doing the killifish. I think that could be really fun and realistic with the space that I have available. Definitely. Greg Jones, thank you for the super chat, Greg. I really do appreciate that. As most of you might not know or know, Greg Jones is the founder of My Aquarium Box. My Aquarium Box is an awesome product. I get it every month. I can't help it. There's no reason for me to cancel it because there's always cool stuff in it. It's like a little Christmas present every month. You know what I mean? I do have a product code. It's like the only thing that I'm affiliated with at all is My Aquarium Box. You can check it out, MABJH. If you go to their website and you want to subscribe to it, if you type in MABJH as a product code, you get $5 off your first My Aquarium Box. That's the only thing that I'm affiliated at this time just because I really think they work really hard on that. Mike and Greg together work really hard on that project. And it means a lot to me that that they're doing it. Let me see. I'm looking for questions. Oh, no, I got distracted again. I got distracted by Rachel O'Leary's super chat of $20 and Greg Jones and Mike. I tried everything with heterotrophic bacteria bloom that's making this tank cloudy back here. You couldn't even see it like this 2 days ago. It was like opaque, thick. I tried all kinds of stuff, everything that everybody told me to try. And then it started to happen in my blue bolt tank. Only in my shrimp tanks have I ever seen a bacteria bloom because I have large populations, large colonies of shrimp. Tried UV filters. I tried all kinds of stuff. I even tried using different antibiotics like erythromycin and things to see if that would kick back the bacteria. Salt. I used marine salt. Now, I do RODI water in my aquariums, so I did do a major water change, got the TDS down and the hardness, the GH and the KH down as low as I could, and then I added marine salt. Not a huge amount. It was testing, so I couldn't tell you exactly how much. I can't give you like I'm not a veterinarian and I'm not a doctor anyways. I'm not going to tell you what to do with your tank. I don't know exactly how much I used for sure. I was probably in this 20-gallon tank. I probably did about 3 or 4 teaspoons of marine salt. After I started out with like TDS of 14 before I put the salt in, and that salt kicked it up to about 250, 300 parts per million. So, you know, when you start out with RODI water, you kind of know what you're putting into your tank at that point, because you know what you're working with. You're starting with 0 kind of, which is the way to do it. So I kicked it up to about 250, 300 parts per million, and the bacteria bloom is going away. It's not getting worse, because if anybody who's ever had a heterotrophic bacteria bloom, you do a water change, it just makes it worse. Like within 12 hours, it's cloudier than it was before the water change. Now, another important thing to keep in mind, I'm going off on a tangent again. Another important thing to keep in mind is that when you do get a heterotrophic bacteria bloom, there's a reason behind that. You know, just adding salt is not the fix. We all know that. I need to reduce the population of shrimp in there. I need to reduce how much I'm feeding them. And, you know, there's different things going on. There's definitely an imbalance in the nitrogen cycle, but once it gets imbalanced with a heterotrophic bacteria bloom, it just kind of takes over. That bacteria uses up all the oxygen in the water, and then the other positive nitrifying bacterias they don't have any oxygen, and it's blocking out the light, so they can't do photosynthesis anymore as well. So it's a little bit more complex, but at the same point, you know, I've helped get rid of the bacteria with the salt, and now I'll do the other things to kind of regain a balance with the nitrogen cycle. But water changes alone is not the answer. It's just going to completely dilute your water column, and it's going to continue to keep the nitrogen cycle and all of the positive nitrifying bacteria out of balance. So less light will help. I have the light on, honestly, for the cameras. As soon as this stream is over, I'm going to turn the light off on that aquarium. Just wanted you guys to kind of see it. I'm kind of proud. I'm happy that it worked. And then it was starting to happen in the Blue Bolt tank, and I put a little salt in there. I woke up this morning, and the water was crystal clear. And then after a few days, I'll do a water change to kind of get some of that, get that salt back out of the water a little bit for the shrimp. All right. It is really nice to see everybody in the stream. Let me pay attention to the chat and look at these questions. Yeah, Daphne would probably be an awesome way to do it as well. I do have Daphnia eggs, and I've been saving those for when I breed. I do keep one tank for infusoria, and that's more of like a science project. You see on the shelf behind me, I have a large, pretty expensive oil immersion microscope that has a digital camera on it, and I film with that sometimes. If some of you might have seen my video on detritus worms, where I use that in the film and the video to show you guys a really close-up look at detritus worms. But I want to do a little video on infusoria and show you all the different, you know, kind of classify and identify all the different forms of microorganisms that are found within what people call infusoria, which is really a broad term for lots of different multi-celled and single-celled organisms that take place in the detritus and in the substrate of an aquarium. Let's see. So good to see everybody in here. 46 people hanging out in the chat. I really do appreciate y'all chilling with me. I still see it up at the top. Thank you again for the $20 super chat, Rachel. I really do appreciate that. And I do want to say that if you're still here in the chat, I think I just want you to know that there's a lot of female YouTubers here in the community that definitely look up to you as a content creator within this niche. And not to single you out as a female, but as a female, there's a lot of I know them personally, people that talk to me, other female content creators, and you're definitely an inspiration to a lot of people. And not just all of us, but specifically the other female content creators that are working hard to create positive and educational content. I think most people in this community, we're not just trying to make like pretty videos. A lot of us don't make pretty videos. We are making videos to try to educate people, to help people keep their fish alive. I think we all have more of a positive goal here, and that's one thing that I really do enjoy about this community is no matter what anybody might think, this is a very positive community, and we all work together. We don't necessarily, I don't think talking bad about each other is really condoned, as far as I'm concerned. I think that if you talk crap about somebody, it's gonna come back to you for one, and the rest of the community is gonna see it and they're gonna take note of that. I think that this is a really positive community, and for the most part, we all support each other. We support what each other are doing, and if we see somebody doing something wrong, we go to them privately, send them a little private message or something, and say, "Hey, man, maybe you should try this. Maybe this will help. Maybe try doing this or that." Or if they're saying something wrong on chat, I'd be like, "Look, I mean, we try to talk to each other privately. I do if I see something. At the same time, I think we're all learning, and nobody is in a place to be belittling each other or to be being narcissistic and acting like we know everything. We're all always learning. I messed up the other day on this bow-face tank behind me. I have some Pistogramma rubro-lineatus, which are wild caught from Peru, from the high elevation mountains in northern Peru. I went there with Michael Barber in Go Wild, Peru, and there were some of the nicer Pistogrammas that we collected there. And I have a group of about 8 or 9 of them in there, and you can see it pretty green in there. I have some algae in there. I've been behind and let it get a little green in there. And when I was at the Aquatic Experience, somebody, Sean, somebody gave me a bunch of product from, Fritz Aquatics. And one of the things was, I never usually use this stuff, but they're so, I'm not bad talking Fritz or anything, but I went ahead and I tried the Fritz. Oh, let me get it. Bam. I put that in my aquarium. I put the proper dosage as well in a 29-gallon aquarium. If anything, I put less than it said, because I put enough in here for about a 20-gallon tank, and there's 29 gallons in there. Now, I'm sure part of the problem was these are wild caught. They're very fragile, sensitive, wild caught. The Pistogramma, all of the domesticated fish, all the fish that came from a pet store that are in that tank were fine. But my rubro-lineatus almost died yesterday. I looked in that tank like literally minutes after putting this into the tank, thinking, oh, maybe I'll try to kick back some of the string algae with it, because it specifically says that it controls string algae. Half of them were at the top trying to get air. The other half were at the bottom still. Now, anybody who knows Pistogrammas, they love to dart around the tank. They're somewhat aggressive for a small fish, what I would almost consider a nano fish. I was so sad. I was freaking out. I did 100% water change on that tank, added an air stone, and I had to wait 12 hours. I woke up this morning and everybody was happy. Back to pretty much normal. The males were chasing the females around, and the males were chasing the other males off from their little territorial spots in the tank. And that made me feel good. And they also had an appetite again. So we're all always learning. And I'll have to say, I don't know what to say about this product, but I will not be using it ever again. I'm not going to risk it, because we all know that you can't fix an algae outbreak or an algae bloom with chemicals. We all know that if you have an algae outbreak, it's because you either need to clean out your filtration, you need more filtration, you need to lower how much you're feeding your fish, you need to increase the flow of water throughout the tank, something. But chemicals are not the answer. I think we all know that. It's a temporary fix maybe. But I was being goofy, and I got this for free this last weekend, so I thought I'd try it out. And I almost killed 8 wild caught Pistogramma rubro-lineatus. So that was my learning experience this weekend. Let's see. It's so cool to see Rachel hanging out in my stream. I'm kind of like, see, get a little blushy over here. I appreciate you hanging out. The Fish Nerd, how are you? Good to see you here. Big Easy, what's up? HC Aqua from Hawaii. Jesse, how are you? Good to see you in here. Barbara Jackson, good to see you here as well. Where is Daryl Dimmer? Oy boy. Oy vey. K-Town Reefers, straight from Cape Town. Straight from South Africa. K-Town Reefer, how are you? Good to see you here in my chat in the stream. I really appreciate the $6.99 super chat, and that is what's CA stand for? It's obviously South African money. South African monies. I know there's a bunch of YouTubers in this chat. I've got a bunch of content creators in this chat. Let's see, and I'm totally distracted. I was gonna give a little shout out for my stuff, my Teespring campaign. I have a JH Aquatics t-shirt available. I also have the hashtag FishFamNews t-shirt. Hashtag FishFamNews will not be tomorrow, but it will be next Monday. Just kind of collaborate and put together a lot of good information. As most of you know, I used to do the hashtag FishFamNews every week, but now I really want it to be even better. So incorporating a lot more new products in the market, as well as world fish keeping news. And so for that reason, I will not be doing it every week. I'm sorry if anybody's bothered by that, but it's all in an effort to create a little bit more of an action-packed, quality piece of video for you that gives people a real reason to watch it. If I do it every week, it kind of gets watered down, and it doesn't get the same kind of views as well. I know it's not all about the numbers, but if I put a lot of work into a video, I'd like to see more than 400 views on it, to be completely honest. So that's my reasoning. Let's see. Try and check out the chat here and see what everybody's saying. But definitely really happy to see everybody there at the Aquatic Experience. I also got a interview with Joey, King of DIY. That was an awesome interview. I got to speak with him a little bit before the interview. Did the interview. Got to chat with him for a little bit afterwards until Rachel pulled him away to go eat, which I can't blame them. Pardon me. I'm getting a dry throat. The food at the Aquatic Experience, it's never been good, and it wasn't good this year. So you had to leave that place, and there was a lot of really good restaurants, a lot of chain restaurants, but there were definitely a lot of good restaurants around the area within the Plaza Park, as it's called, there in New Jersey. So I did what did we do? Outback like 3 times. Ate at Outback. We did Buffalo Wild Wings, was one of the YouTuber meetup dinners that we did. That was fun. And then the other one was Red Robin, right across the street there at the Red Robin. And that was fun. I enjoyed Buffalo Wild Wings a little bit better. That was fun. That's where I got to meet Rachel for the first time there that evening. That was nice. And Joey as well. It's definitely nice. It was nice to meet both of them, just because really just inspirational people in the community, worked really, really hard to create what they have and where they are at, and can't help but be a little bit of an inspiration. Just all the hard work that they put in to and creating positive content that is really has been helpful to the community. There's a lot that I've learned from both of their channels, along with all the other channels, all the other content creators. Like I said, we all kind of, as a community, we work together. We bounce off each other. We're all learning stuff from each other. Like, I don't know if anybody out there knew that you could probably pretty much kick a bacteria bloom with salt. Like, I talked to some of the biggest shrimp breeders, award-winning shrimp breeders over this weekend, and really some of the best in the world, and all they could tell me was UV light, blackout, and lots of water changes. When then the other people would say, don't do any water changes, black it out, and stop feeding for a little while. Like, nobody once mentioned to me salt. And we're talking about some of the best, some of the biggest award-winning breeders, at least in the United States, and also people from China and Japan. Nobody said salt to me, and it definitely is working. It's definitely working, and I'm just really excited that I figured something out. Like I said, it's not the end-all fix, but it definitely is kicking it, and then I can do all the other steps now at this point to really kind of completely eradicate it and rebalance the nitrogen cycle. Let's see. Swisky, still hanging out in the chat. Good to see you, buddy. I'm looking forward to your video that you said you're making for tomorrow, or you guys are filming it tomorrow. I did give you a question in your community tab. I think it was a community tab or Facebook. I don't know. You had mentioned that you were looking for questions to answer in the video that you were going to make tomorrow when you go playing in the woods, which I look forward to. Let's see. Sorry. Try to. Let's see. Simply Beta, how are you? Good to see you in here. Susan from SLC Aquatics. Hello. Thanks for hanging out. Most of you might not know Susan from SLC Aquatics. She's otherwise known as the hashtag FishFam Mom. She was a great supporter of me after Hurricane Irma, which devastated the island. Oh, I wasn't ready to talk this much. My lungs, my throat is not ready for it. I'm still healing from that cold. Yes, Susan is known as the hashtag FishFam Mom. She helped me out a lot after Hurricane Irma. The biggest way she helped me out is she helped me with the purchase of this nano beam, which is actually an antenna that I have on my roof, where I'm collecting internet from this nonprofit internet service provider, which was created after Hurricane Irma to support all of the first responders and all of the emergency response teams and stuff like that on the island after Hurricane Irma, just to keep things running, keep the fire department going and the police department going and other people in the community. So after the military and everybody showed up and things kind of got better around here a little bit, they started offering out those internet services to other people in the community, and she helped me to get the antenna, which is what I'm streaming on right now. I'm streaming on a wireless internet service provider from an antenna on my roof, which is giving me 8 megabytes download, 25 megabytes upload, which is helping me stream to you guys at 1080p at 60 frames per second, which is pretty sweet. I do donate to them $100 a month, so any of your super chats or any of your support with Patreon, it goes to places like that. It helps me support the nonprofit internet service provider, which gives me this really awesome ability to stream to you guys on Sundays. It also helps me to upload all my videos in a timely fashion to YouTube. It's really awesome. Who else am I missing here that hasn't popped in? Daryl Dimmer is obviously taking a nap right now. Rack from River Life, I have his guppies ready for him. I'm on the second dose of medication from quarantining them. Last but not least, I'll be hitting them with levamisole to completely deworm them as best as I possibly can, and then I'll be shipping those wild-caught guppies out to him. Let's see, I'm just scrolling through the chat here and seeing what people are saying. Learning to fish keep, how are you? I saw your stream yesterday for a quick minute and I had to run and go do dinner. Devin Peppers, how are you? Oh, my throat is so dry. Mountaintop Fish, welcome to the stream. Creative Pet Keeping. Wow, I cannot help it. Creative Pet Keeping. Another celebrity in the house. How are you, Kasha? It's really nice to see you this last weekend at the Aquatic Experience. I really love your content. Awesome stuff. I look forward to seeing your Aquatic Experience video. I heard through the grapevine that it's pretty good. It's going to be better than mine because I didn't get a lot of B-roll. I did get some awesome interviews, though. Got interviews with Rachel O'Leary, Joey the King of DIY, George Farmer, Alex from Tank Tested, which is an incredible. He's an artist as far as I'm concerned. Cinematographer, does incredible pieces. He only does like one piece a month. If you guys haven't checked out his channel, Tank Tested, quality stuff. He just did a fish room tour with Rachel O'Leary at her house and got some really nice shots of some of her tanks. Yeah, so Alex from Tank Tested. Let's see who else. I did get John from KG Cichlids. Oh, I keep doing that. KG Tropicals. They're two different channels. John from KG Tropicals. I got an interview with him. Let's see. Yeah, Rachel. He does an incredible pieces. I like the one they did on the Gambusia in Florida, and he was actually there on a completely other project, a paid project. And he managed to, like, for like a half an hour, pull out some of his other personal gear and get some footage and do that. I don't know why my throat does not want me to talk this much. Where am I at? I'm at 42 minutes. So my throat will be happy when the stream is over. 42 minutes. I'm usually not like this, but it's my throat's still a little irritated from all the talking at the Aquatic experience. Let's see. It's hard for me to stay silent though, because that's kind of my job here, is to hang out and chat with you guys. Priscilla MK from Priscilla MK Arts, how are you? Dear friend, also an awesome supporter of me during or after Hurricane Irma, with some care packages. Even threw in some Ricola. Thank you, Priscilla. I appreciated that. Let's see. Teresa Cookie, how are you? Good to see you here. Aquatic Jack. Mile High Placos. Michael Trevino. I would love to see some video or something with all of those West Indian almond leaves that I sent you. I'd love to see them in the tanks. It just makes me feel good to see my stuff getting some good use and see some fish happy with all those almond leaves. And I know there's a few other people in here, Simply Beta, Big City Betas, and a few others that are definitely interested in some West Indian almond leaves. My first plan here, my throat does not want me to do this. Okay. My first plan here, as I'm working on my website, I do have a website, JH Aquatics, which is not live yet. But most of you might know Dan from Dan's Fishes. He has created getgills.com. And until I can get my website created completely and get it live, I am going to be selling some of my stuff on Get Gills. So I have created a store, and I'm starting to put together some images for products. I will have my West Indian almond leaves. I'll have mango leaves. Let's see, West Indian bay leaf, which is pimenta, which if most of you might know of Pimifix, made by API, which is kind of a goofy product to me. But pimenta oil is not goofy to have in your aquarium at the same time. So what I like to do, what I have the opportunity to do here, is I go out and I pick dried pimenta leaves, which is West Indian bay leaf, different than Italian bay leaf. That's a tree from Italy that you put in your tomato sauce. Totally different. West Indian bay leaf is actually what they make Old Spice out of, but it's pimenta oil. What I like to do is take the dried West Indian bay leaf and I boil them so that they're saturated with water and they'll sink, and I put the bay leaf into my aquariums to just let the oils get into the water column naturally. And they do act as a natural antibiotic. Anyways, so I will have those: West Indian bay leaf, mango leaf, West Indian almond leaf, banana palm frond, which is great for shrimp. So a mixture of dried botanicals I'll have on that store on Get Gills, as well as my blue bolts, my Caridina blue bolt shrimp, my yellow King Kong blue bolt. I'm sorry, my yellow King Kong Caridina shrimp, and I'm working on some paperwork with the government here to legally collect the wild guppies here that I've been collecting and breeding in captivity and quarantining and giving them out to some friends. But I will have some colonies of those available on that site as well once I get the paperwork clear with the Department of Natural Resources here in the Virgin Islands. So, because it looks like I do have to have not a permit to ship them out or to sell them, but I do have to have a permit to collect them from the wild. So I'm looking at that. So look forward to that channel. I mean, that storefront is already set up, but I just don't have any products on it yet. But getgills.com, which is a really cool idea that Dan came up with. Looks like I'm not the only one, though. There's like 10 people that have started a storefront and have no products on it. I think eventually he's going to have to like give them an expiration date, and like if they don't get any products on that storefront in a certain amount of days, that he takes it down. I think that's a smart idea. I might, you know, he's going to have to figure out how to politically like handle all that. Who else did I see in here before I get carried away? Dwayne Kitchell, how are you? Good to see you in here. Me and Dwayne were in Peru together last year, or this year. That was an awesome experience. Let's see, there was someone else in here I wanted to say hi to. Oh, John from KG Tropicals, how are you? Good to see you up in here. It was really nice to get that interview with you. It was really nice to chat with you, and I look forward to seeing what you do with that 75-gallon aquarium and all of the plants. You got a nice little bit of loot there from the aquatic experience. So did I. I'm just trying to keep my tissue cultures happy until my substrate comes in. I just got off of Amazon 40 pounds of EcoComplete for $40 free shipping. Right now they have the Amazon has EcoComplete for $19.99 for a 20-pound bag, and I have Amazon Prime, so I got it with free shipping. So it should be here next couple of days, and I have a tank or two to scape with that, and I'll use the rest of my tissue cultures and do an aquascaping video with the dinner lay tissue cultures. I'm sorry guys about my cough. Just like this itch in the back of my throat when it starts to get dry. Let's see here. I don't know if Rachel's still hanging out, but it was really nice to have Rachel pop in the chat. I'll tell you that. Really nice to see her up in here. I really think that influential part of the community, and I think that I'm sure a lot of it's been an inspiration to a lot of us content creators. I know I have a lot of content creators hanging out in my stream right now. Let's see. Marine Tank Journey, how are you? Welcome to the stream. I need to make a few people some mods though. See if this works for me. Ah. Did that work? Yeah. Big City Betas, you are a mod now. Let's see. I'm gonna start making people upset. Like, wait a minute, why am I not a mod? Before you know it, it has a huge mod squad going on in here. If some of you don't know, Big City Betas, I think is an awesome channel. She has like 9 videos right now. Very educational content in the world of beta keeping, beta fish keeping and breeding. She really does know her stuff. She has a nice little collection of wild caught betas. And if you haven't checked out her channel, definitely check it out. I know she's got some new content coming up here in the future, but and I definitely look forward to seeing it. And she kind of got me hooked on the idea of doing some beta fish as well. I'm really kind of into natural biotopes, so I'm really into the idea of working with the wild betas, not so much these fancy betas, these domesticated fancy betas. That's for everybody else. I mean, they're pretty and all, that's cool, but I really like working with wild fish and stuff like that. So let's see. Who else is up in here that I haven't said hi to yet? Any questions about the aquatic experience before my time is up? It's 2:50. I'm going to be going until 3 o'clock. I do not know if Alluring Beta, I still want to call them Alluring Betas, but Sky High Aquariums, I believe he goes live after me at 3 o'clock. 3 o'clock my time anyways. So definitely go check him out. If he's in here, you can let us know for sure if you are going live, if you are doing your stream. But yeah, I'm gonna have to keep it tight and keep it straight up on an hour. It's my throat more than anything. It's really not happy. It seems it's like it's acting like it's really dry in here, and I know it's not. I'm in the humid Caribbean. Let's see, Jimmy, what's up, man? You're still hanging out with me. How do you like the lights, buddy? I had to get creative back here with some of these lights. It's all the behind the scenes stuff nobody sees. It looks good, but I got a light like hung up there, strung up there with something, and a little piece of aluminum foil as a reflector because there's no reflector for it. Oh, it's fun stuff. I love the behind the scenes stuff. That's what it's all about. 90% perception. Let's see. What was my favorite experience at the aquatic experience? Priscilla asked me that question. Who else did I just see? Jeff Rose Fish Keeping. What's up, buddy? Jeff, it's good to see you here in the stream. I really appreciate you hanging out. One of my more favorite live streams is yours, most definitely. Let's see. What was my favorite experience at the aquatic experience? I'm giving my throat a minute. Besides the community, seeing the whole community come together, seeing all the YouTubers hanging out, actually seeing YouTubers that I haven't seen before, seeing YouTubers kind of clear the air between each other and get over some things between each other and talk some things out, and seeing the community kind of come together and just hanging out for the right reasons, because we're all fish nerds and we love fish and we love fish keeping, and seeing that happen was beautiful. Like, it was heartwarming to see everybody get along in the end. I really was really happy about that. It made me feel better about the community. It definitely did. It really, I've always loved this community, but there's, sometimes it could be some animosity between few people. People like to talk crap about each other. But to see that be washed away for the most part, and to see everybody get along was awesome. And to see everybody hanging out and sharing and collaborating with each other and just laughing and joking and having a good time was awesome. That was probably the best experience. The next best experience for me is always whoa, watch out, getting excited. For me, the KG thank you for subscribing to the channel. I appreciate that. The next best thing for me, honestly, is the end of the show. When they get on that intercom and they tell everybody to get out. They tell everybody to get out, and then you see all of the exhibitors and the vendors just start tearing things down, and it is like a madhouse in there. Everybody's tearing things down, taking down their exhibits, emptying tanks. Oh, it's crazy. It's so much fun. And running around like that last hour, buying, like I did interviews to the last minute, completely exhausted, and I told myself I got 1 hour left. Now I'm gonna go spend some money. And I went like a madman, like hit all the spots. I had a list of what I wanted, bought a bunch of cool shrimp food, quality stuff. Chris Lukup hooked me up with a bunch of Shrimp King food. Awesome. Went and got a bunch of little special plants that were like rare, snagged some up, paid for those. And then I go over to the dinner lay booth, and Chris Lukup hands me a whole tray of tissue culture samples. And then Volker, which is a German aquascaper, world renowned, is tearing down a tank there at Dinnerlay's booth, hands me, pulls out a plastic bag and takes $300 worth of Anubias out of this fish tank and just throws them all into a bag and says, here, and gives me a bunch of Anubias. That's awesome. Like the whole end of the show of just like collecting my loot, like like a pirate, like just going around and just filling a cardboard box full of goodies, all kinds of different products and stuff that were given to me for free. Most of what I brought home was given to me for free. It was a, like somebody else had said in another stream. I think it was in John's stream and a KG Tropical stream. What did he say? It was a good day to be a YouTuber. You know, like it was nice. There was so much loot to come home with. And then I had to sit back in my room at the very end and try to make it all fit in my suitcase. But it was definitely, that last little bit is like one of my favorite time, and just collecting all the goodies and just like this is mine, and running back to my hotel room with like 2 boxes of goodies. I did get a CO2 system as well. I had to decompress. I had to release all the CO2 to take it on the airplane. That was the only thing about that was a bummer. So I can go back to the big island over here and recharge it with CO2. But I did have to empty all the CO2 out of that. But that was a nice find there. I got that. That was one of our sponsors. It's actually a pretty cool little system. I will show it in a video when I do my this other aquascape and I set it up. But it was donated to us. It was sponsored to us by Magscape or Mag Float. They have some other products. They bring in a lot of other products. They do have their magnets and whatnot, the Magscape and the Mag Float. But Mag Float also brings in other products, so, you know, for other companies in Japan and China and stuff like that. And one of them is this really cool, like all-in-one CO2 system with a 12-ounce CO2 tank. That was really cool. So, yeah. Fish Pirate of the Caribbean. That's nice. That's a new t-shirt idea. I'm going to steal that. Let's see. I'm there. I've got about 3 more minutes to go, and I should be out of here. I'm going to go hydrate my throat. Whew. KG Cichlids. Okay, so it's KG Cichlids is in here. NKG Tropical is in here. Let's get that right. They're both here in the house. KG Cichlids and KG Tropical. Let's have Lisa from KG Tropicals is in the house. And KG Cichlids is here. Which I goofed up when I did the interview with KG Tropicals with John. I said KG Cichlids and he corrected me and I was like, oh. That's what I get. That's what I get. But you guys make it confusing there between the two of you. Hard to keep track. Let's see. And so wait, so Kevin is KG Cichlids. Am I getting that right? Anyways, and now we have Steve's Fishy Palace, which used to be Steve's Shrimpery and More, which I really like that name too. That was fun. It was fun to say. Once you got it down, it's like Steve's Shrimpery and More. At first, it was like blah blah blah, but as soon as I got it, Nanny changes his name. That's great, perfect. Twin City Guppies, what's up? Kingly, how are you? Good to see you in here. You're showing up the last 3 minutes of my stream. Big City Betas, you're still up in here. Good to see you, hanging out. Let's see. Swisky, the Jimmy Meister, the Jimmy man himself. $4.99 super chat. I appreciate that. Thank you so much. So that's going to sit there. I can't end my stream until that's gone. That's the rule I play. I like that rule. Can't leave until all the super chats are off the board, right? It's a good way to look at it. Let's see. Raccoon Creek Aquatics, how are you? Good to see you in here. I really like your content as well. Good positive stuff. Anyways, it's start to digress here. I do want to say I really appreciate all of you that hang out here in the stream, all 46 of you or so. It does mean a lot to me, and I mean that with my heart. Captain Savage Aquatics, how are you? Good to see you here at the very last minute. But it does mean a lot to me. Oh, Michael, are you really doing that? You don't like my throat, do you, Michael? Michael Trevino from Mile High Playcos. Thank you so much for that $20 super chat. I really do appreciate it. You're killing me. Oh, let's drink something here. But what I was trying to say there is I really do appreciate all of you here in this chat because you all are my fish keeping community. This is my fish club. Going to the aquatic experience and hanging out with all these other content creators, that's my fish club. I do look forward to eventually moving back to the States, simply just so that I can have a better connection with other fish keepers and be part of a fish club and have a place to sell the fish that I breed and the shrimp that I breed. But until that happens, this is it right here. So I do want to say thank you all for hanging out. It's really special to me to have you guys here. Creative Pet Keeping says hashtag fish friends. Yes, hashtag fish friends, hashtag fish fam, hashtag fish fam love. That's what I like. I like hashtag fish fam love because there's lots of love in here. There's a lot of love. There's a lot of good people up in here in this chat. KG Tropicals, John, you're killing me. Oh, as I cough. KG Tropicals, John, how are you? And thank you for the $9.99 super chat. Okay, I still want to call you alluring beta, but anyways, flight attendant, thank you for the $1.99 super chat. Now you don't want to keep me here because you're about to stream, right? Aren't you streaming right now? Maybe that's what you're trying to say. Oh, you're not going live. Just came in from Peru. Ah, you were at Peru too. Awesome. I know you're a flight attendant, right? So you were there just on a flight. I hope you got to hang out and have some good food while you were there. I love Peruvian food. Unfortunately, though, Peruvian food is like 2/3 carb and 1/3 protein. It's like they'll do a plate with like a bed of homemade French fries, rice, and chicken. It's not the healthiest in the world, but it will definitely fill you up. That's for sure. I gained weight when I was in Peru. But then again, I was eating everything off of Dwayne's plate and Corey's plate. Corey got to the point where, like, we'd get to the end of dinner, and he didn't even ask me anymore. He would just push his plate over to me, and I finished Corey's plate, and I always finished Dwayne's plate. Yep. I ate everybody's food. I ate for 3 people. I was very adventurous too. It didn't really bother me eating some of that stuff. Some of them, Corey wasn't as adventurous, and neither was Dwayne so much with some of that food. And sometimes it was pretty bad. Some of those wild chickens that we ate, those feral chickens that we had to eat. Feral chicken meat is tough and chewy. It's like rubber. It just gets stuck between your teeth, and it's just rubber. It's not fun. I'll skip on feral chicken, but everything else was awesome. The picuru, which is like a big wild rat. It's like this big rat that's like it's almost like the size of a beaver, and it's called picuru, and that was really good. Kind of gamey, reminded me of kind of tasted gamey like deer meat. But that was good, actually. I really did enjoy that. And obviously, I finished Corey's plate and Dwayne's plate when it came to that as well. I will have to say, I never had to finish Dean's plate. Dean ate everything like me. Like, we finished our plates. We took care of our stuff. All right. I'm waiting for these. I'm not waiting, but after these... Oh, you're not going live. I was feeling bad, like I'm stepping on your toes there on your stream. But if you're not going live, then I don't feel so bad. Bob, how are you? Another celebrity in the house. We have Bob Steamfot Aquatics. How are you, buddy? Good to see you in the chat. Bob didn't really enjoy being in New Jersey too much. Oh, really? I'm gonna go turn that on. I can't help it. Yep, that's because I turned them on early because I was working on a tank. So the light cycle is off there. What was I going to say? Oh, no, Bob was not really that into being in New Jersey, but I know he had fun there. I know he wasn't too happy with the aquatic experience either. The aquatic experience is definitely a little bit more of a corporate kind of event. It just happens to be the biggest turnout for YouTubers right now, so it's been an epic event for YouTubers, but I wouldn't say that the Aquatic Experience is like the best fish keeping convention by far. It's more of like a trade show to me, and that's why I didn't really look at a lot of the exhibitors this year, because I know a lot of the sales reps. I know those guys like Sean over at Fritz Aquatics and the dude over at Fluval and stuff like that. So it's like I didn't really need to see that stuff. I've seen it many times before. Any other convention like that, they're always there. It's their life. It's what they do for a living. They just go from town to town and set up and tear down the same exhibit. So I did not really get into that. And sometimes also with a commercially kind of thing, some of the fish don't get the best of care. So there was definitely some sites, some scenes like that, definitely more than a couple of tanks where it was just kind of sad. You didn't even want to look at them because the fish kind of came last sometimes. So, and that's to be blamed. The blame to me on that kind of situation goes to each individual company in those booths. I wouldn't blame WPA for that so much, honestly, even though they're kind of more of a corporate thing. It's, everybody's responsible for your own fish. You have an exhibit and you have fish, that's your responsibility. So the blame goes out to each of those people individually, and I'm not going to get into names or any of that kind of stuff. Anybody was there, we know what we saw. But I am looking forward to Aquashella. Aquashella is coming up this next year, and that was been put together by a couple YouTubers and fish keepers, so people that I know personally, Sean Fritz Aquatics, as well as Coral 12G, which most of you might know if you're into saltwater and to fragging and saltwater fish tanks and stuff. He's a pretty big channel, a pretty big YouTuber, it's a little bit different event, and because it was created by fish keepers and by YouTubers, people that create YouTube content, they kind of it's a different setup. It's organized a little bit differently, and I think it's going to be. I didn't get to go this last year, but I was told that it was 100 times better than the Aquatic Experience. So I really do hope that in the future here that, honestly, and no offense to anybody over at WPA or anything, I'd like to see this YouTube community that we've created at the Aquatic Experience, this mass of YouTubers and content creators. I'd love to see that at the Aquashella, honestly, because I really feel like Aquashella is the place for us. Honestly, like Aquashella is more designed for people like us, for artists and content creators. There's a lot more art there, and there's a lot more cool things for people that want to film, and there's still just a lot of good exhibits and a lot of the same companies will still be there because they go to everything, but and a lot more products for sale too at Aquashella. So Jasper, it's gonna be okay. It's just some rap music and a car going by. It's gonna be okay. All right, so I've gone over, but I still have the $20 super chat hanging on the board from Michael Trevino, so I'm hanging out for that to pass, and then I'm gonna go ahead and get out of here. But yeah, Bob, it's good to see you up here in the stream. I really appreciate it. I've had like a lot of celebrities today in the stream. Rachel O'Leary hung out in here for a good while. I've got Creative Pet Keeping. I've got Bob Steamfod Aquatics. Got Priscilla MK, the mad artist herself, in the house. All kinds of cool people. It's good to see you guys hanging out. I'm having fun. And KG Tropicals. Like, he's no small channel either. You guys are awesome, and I love all the content that you guys create. And Big City Betas, Amber, I definitely look forward to seeing more content from you because you truly know your stuff about beta fish, and there's a lot that you can offer to the community, to other people out here that are working with beta fish, or people that maybe somebody that just has their first beta fish. There's a lot of work that has to be done to me with beta fish because most people just think that, put them in a cup, they're fine, right? So we really have to work hard to get away from that, especially when they sell them in plastic cups still. There's a lot of work that we have to do to get people away from the idea that a beta fish is okay in a glass of water. So my hat's off to you for the content that you create about beta fish, and also Simply Beta is up in here, as well as creative pet keeping and stuff that the stuff that you do with your fish as well. So, all right, the board is clear. Oh, this is another. You guys should check this out. I'm sure everybody's seen this on Facebook these days. But For Ocean, really cool little group of people. That's one of the organizations, nonprofit organizations that I do support. That's where this cup came from. Is For Ocean. They do a lot of work to clean up the beaches and clean up the oceans of plastic and garbage. So check those guys out. And so yeah, I should get out of here. If you guys are interested in supporting me, you can support me in a couple of ways. I do have my Patreon account, which you see the link to it right there, patreon.com/jhaquatics. If you're interested in any of my products, I do also have on Teesprings at Teespring.com/jhaquatics. I have my JH Aquatics t-shirt. And then I also do have the #FishFam News t-shirt, which is available. It's you can also find that. I think it's just it's teespring.com/FishFam News, I believe is the link. Anyways, I'm not playing around with links over here. I got to get my subs on my mods on board to post some links, but it's all good. Let's see. What else? Let's see. I was just checking for any other crazy questions. Priscilla, thank you. I appreciate that. Anyways, but that's the best way to support me is my Patreon account. I do look forward to creating some specific content for my Patreons. That's coming out in the future. Some new content for you guys. And as I get more Patreons and people posting stuff that are Patreons on that site, and then I have a reason to kind of share that with you guys. Any questions or anything cool that I have that's been shared with me. Now that light is going crazy. I don't know why it's starting to flicker. It's going to go crazy on me and go out. Maybe it's time to end this chat. The LED light is going wiry on me. It's not listening to its program. Something like that. Anyways, all right, guys. Thank you guys so much for hanging out in the stream. I really do appreciate it. If you're not subscribed to this content and you like it, go ahead and click on that subscribe button down below. But I know you guys are all probably subscribed to me. Now it's going to go red and green. And this light is killing me. Good stuff. All right. Well, thank you guys so much. I really do appreciate it. Y'all have a lovely rest of your weekend. Have a great week. And I will be putting out some videos this week for you guys. All right. Thank you guys. And remember, keep your tanks clean, your fish fed, and have fun.